Savage Sisters podcast. Welcome back to the podcast.
To get wrong started.
Moisture.
That chocolate. I ain't eating no ass.
A red flag just ain't enough for some of y'all. Ain't no lunch break, bitch.
No.
Wherever the hell I want to go, I'm baku.
Yeah, mbuku.
Cause you ungrateful.
Hurt you to your soul and tell your booty hole.
God bless his wife.
That thing was raw.
Nothing.
I got something for that ass. Yeah. Oh, deaf ass.
It's hard out here in these streets.
I'm on got 3000
No.
with the twist.
Lying.
What the hell is wrong with y'all? Currently, we tweaking a little bit.
But you still.
Like yourself first.
Hell no.
We know your ass lying. Everybody's feelings is gonna get hurt in that intervention.
Cause if you ain't good, then ain't nobody else gonna be good.
Damn. Team ignorant.
What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up?
What's up?
Welcome back to another episode of Savage
Sisters podcast.
This is the last episode of season 2.
Congratulations. Congratulations.
Okay, this is basically a, conclusion of season 2. We just wrapping everything up.
You ain't finna manipulate me.
Something wrong with her. Something's wrong with her.
There's something wrong with a little bit of all of us.
This season was
A season.
Yeah. We definitely were in a different place than the first season. Mm-hmm. I mean, similar, but a little shift.
Yeah.
As we said in the previous episode, we have grown. We see the growth, in this season compared to the first season. As far as how we look at social media differently, as business instead of just personal, and articulating ourselves differently and more clearly. What else? Being more comfortable speaking.
Yeah. That's a number one.
Yeah.
Right there.
Okay. So, my first question is, what was your favorite episode of the season?
Of this season?
Mm-hmm. If you can remember.
Let's see. Cause I be, like I said, like I mentioned in the last episode, I go back often.
Yeah. Well, only 1 through 8 is posted right now, but 9, I believe, was red flags in relationships, and 10 was knowing when you're ready to date. And then 11 was the one we just did, which was tell us about yourself.
I can't say that I like any one more than any of the others, but I will say this: our being more vocal about certain things, like that we notice, like the transitions in how we think of things at the time, like whatever the subject may be, it don't matter. Like, for example, like justifying shit behavior, or why everybody can't go with you, and how to know. Like, I feel like our episodes are becoming more thought-provoking, which is initially what I wanted for the podcast overall, because our conversations are usually that way. So it's more It's more so like, I like how we've kind of, created a space for our listeners to be a part of the conversation too. Because that's the whole point of the podcast. But I feel like it's grown more in that way, so that everybody can find a piece. Like, okay, I can resonate with that. You know what I mean? So it's not so much, oh, they're talking about this and I don't have no experience with that. No, we've touched on quite a bit of things. And, every episode we touch on something. Even, our Savage Sundays stuff gets touched on. Even though those are more so like the funner episodes. Mm-hmm. But I think that's what makes our podcast more unique too. Is that we have the ability to really merge that line of fun but informative. Because there's a lot of podcasts out now that's just like, cringy. Like, okay, y'all bashing one side, but you're not talking about the other side. Like, we're not doing that. We're talking about everybody. We're gonna talk about it. We're gonna talk about both sides of it. Mm-hmm. Like, I feel like we level the playing field. Mm-hmm. And we're keeping it transparent because that's how it should be. It should be an open, transparent conversation, but majority of the time it's not.
For me, I would say the one that resonated with me the most was probably the self-reflection and celebrating your growth. Mm-hmm. I feel like I have done that to the utmost highest degree. Even now, recently I had a conversation with a longtime friend, and I basically like self-reflected and acknowledged how I hindered our friendship. I'm a very emotional person, and I'm not ashamed of that. It's just how I am. And but years ago I didn't know how to work through that and address them properly and in a healthier way. I had a very negative outlook on everything because that's all I was shown and pretty much experienced. So I didn't see any other way to think or feel. So I pretty much emotionally dumped on this person a lot. And me even knowing that I put a lot on this person, I figured, well, they can handle it. They know how I am. They pretty much, in a way, they babied me. They kind of like
enabled it?
Kind of. And it just made me do it more. And I was just, and I wasn't doing it in like a vindictive way. I just heavily depended on this person emotionally. And
you became codependent.
Yeah. And that became just toxic and just not healthy at all. And I could see why, that person might have distanced themselves from me. And I realized that, and I had a conversation with this person literally maybe a few days ago, and I expressed how I felt about everything and why I felt the way that I did, and I apologized for putting all of this stress on him. And he was shocked. he wasn't expecting us to have that conversation, and for me to basically address it. But and I think we talked about that somewhat in the past, but not in deep of detail. And I was very happy we had that, conversation, because I feel like it was kind of like a breakthrough in our relationship. So I really really glad I had that conversation. And that conversation just showed how much I've grown over the years, and how my mentality has changed and my outlook on things has changed. I no longer always only see the negative in anything. Even when something is negative, I choose to see the positive, because I've always had looked at everything through a negative lens my whole life, and been depressed and let every single thing sway my emotions and make me depressed. So, eventually I just got tired of that. I'm just like, yo, I don't want to be like this no more. Like, this shit's miserable. This is not fun. Like, my life should not be like this. So I decided to change, and the next question is, what other things would you like to incorporate in the podcast itself?
A BON. No.
Like I said earlier, I would like to do interviews, on the spot interviews, like on the street, in public, and have a videographer. He don't have to be a BON, but I mean, if he must, then that's fine.
I would like for him to be a BON. I'm in agreement with that. But also too, just because the platforms like TikTok is in possible threat of being gotten rid of, I would say create more content, but like maybe more so for like YouTube.
Yeah. Definitely more videos on YouTube. I've been wanting to do that, but trying to push these episodes out first.
Yeah.
But once we post these, we definitely could do just different type of content and post it on YouTube.
Because I can see the direction that we're going in, and I like it because it's there's a lot of podcasts and everything like that, but again, they're not us, we're not them.
We can do like challenges.
Yeah. And I feel like even though we may not exactly have the I guess the audience yet, that doesn't mean that we don't have the potential of the audience. Because let's be honest, our episodes are the shit. I mean, I'm not BSing here. They are. Like, and for us to be as young as we are, and we're touching on these subjects, like, that's not very common. So it's showing our growth as individuals, but it's also showing our growth as, with our podcast. And I feel like a lot of podcasters, they're expanding and changing in different ways as well, but we're touching a lot of different lanes. For us, for our age bracket, we're touching a lot of different lanes that aren't being touched by our age bracket. Like, we're not just talking about relationships, romantically. We're talking about relationships across the board. Even relationships with ourselves. So it's always we have a lane of our own, more or less, and the direction that we're going in, I like it, and I can see us really popping off with it. And hell, I'm ready.
Okay.